Hi, my name is Joel Montgomery, and I'm your host for this series, Introduction to Competency Mastery Learning Design. This is Part 2, the Learning and Competency Framework. The Competency Mastery Learning Framework is recognize, explore, learn, practice, apply, and integrate. And you'll see as we look underneath the graphic, under recognize, lecture is appropriate, and then for explore, lecture, and activity are appropriate. For learn, competency-focused learning is appropriate. Then for practice and apply, coaching and mentoring. And for integrate, collaborative teamwork. All of those involve the use of competency mastery learning design. The steps and stages that you see on the personal development change curve also apply when we get to team and group competency change and organizational competency change. So I'll go over them in detail and understand that in competency mastery learning, personal development change takes place as well as change at the team and group level and at the organizational level. So let's take a look at the steps. On the left, you'll see the learning process and the 6 steps of recognize and explore, then learn and practice, then apply and integrate. You move to the square in the center, you'll see the commitment to change, which requires engagement and time and reflection, and increases as you move up the curve. Those 3 areas that are colored are the 3 stages of change: awareness, acceptance, and action. If you choose to reject the change during the recognize and explore steps, you can remain in your current comfort zone. If you choose to reject the change when you're in the acceptance stage at the learn and practice step, you can return to your previous comfort zone. But once you move to the action stage and the apply and integrate steps, if you reject the change, you have to change to something else. Comfort zones may not be stable, and habits are part of the comfort zone. And this is where the biggest difference is. These questions that go to each stage will change depending on whether you're working as an individual, a team or a group, or an organization. So at the individual level, under recognize, here's something new. And then explore, well, I don't know how to do it yet. When you get to learn, I can do it with help. And then when you start to practice it, I can do it when I think about what I'm doing. You move up to apply, I can do it without thinking about it all the time. And integrate, it's a part of me now. I don't really have to think about it. Moving up the personal development change curve. As people engage in the competency mastery learning design workshops, they get a jump start in moving up the curve. The goal in these programs is to help participants move to the learn and practice levels in selected area of competency. Ongoing learning and practice are required to reach the apply and integrate levels on the curve. Evaluation of personal competency change. Value metrics are based on reported movement on the personal development change curve. Electronic surveys may be sent 1 week after the workshop and again 3 months and 6 months later. If used, the 7 days after survey captures feedback on how the webinar or workshop supported competency change. How these competency mastery learning design workshops lead to competency change. Take a look at the graphic on the left, and you'll see that we have the integrative learning process on the vertical line on the left, and engaging and reflective experience across time in the horizontal line along the bottom. And then on the right-hand side under results, you'll see confidence and comfort zone changes, and in the center on a diagonal, coping and success strategies. Basically, this graphic indicates that in competency mastery learning, people develop successful coping and success strategies to assist them to deal with the change. So it also can work best if we have collaborative teams, focused learning activities, planned reflection, tangible deliverables, quality benchmarks, and real-world relevant support. As I mentioned earlier, competency mastery in teams and groups does follow the same steps and stages as on the personal development change curve. So let's jump down to the bottom and look at the reflection questions for each area. For recognize the shared vision. Do they have one? And it is to change, to move beyond existing limits. And explore, the team explores the change together. In learn, they assist each other through the change and build support for the change as a team or a group. In practice, they begin applying the change beyond the group setting. And in apply, they apply the change on a regular basis, individually and as a team. And on 6, the change is part of the normal way the group functions intuitively. Remember that comfort zones may not be stable and that habits are part of those comfort zones, and that the amount of change, the number of people involved, and the support required for change all influence the time and commitment that are shown. Competency mastery in organizations, while they follow the same steps and stages, are more complicated by virtue of the number of people involved. So again, looking at these questions, at the reflection stage, the vision is to change and move beyond existing limits. Organizations quite often in the explore stage will use focus groups to explore the proposed change. At the learn stage, the organization endorses the change and provides logistic supports for the change for the organization. In the practice stage, the organization starts implementing the change in selected groups, building acceptance and reliance on new tools. In the apply stage, the organization implements the change as a firm standard and reinforces the change in performance appraisals. And by the time the change is at the 6th level, which is integrate, it's a part of firm culture and can be seen so by people new to the firm and outside of the firm. The integrative learning process is an essential component to competency mastery learning. Looking from left to right, because the integrative learning process is a system, you'll see on the input side new information, experience, and perspectives, and integrated life experience. These move to the transforming process, where you'll see the steps of engage, observe, reflect, evaluate relevance, and plan to apply, repeating themselves over and over. That's why it lists to the 3rd power. And all of that is the reflective learning process. Only when they have completed that do they begin to create the output of putting into practice in life experience what they have been learning. And then, once it's put into practice, they apply the new knowledge and skill in life experience, see how it works, and there is a feedback loop that takes place to continually probe value. And when something is proved to be of value, that is added to the integrated life experience that is the filter for all new learning. And again, that number 3 indicates a cycle of movement beyond pre-existing limits. Action learning is an initiative that can be built into competency mastery learning. In action learning, learning is what you know plus insightful questions leading to new results. It is learning for action, and there is a knowledge transfer component to action learning. In competency mastery learning design webinars and workshops, we take what we know, we add insightful questions and thoughts, We capture new learning in a workshop handbook, a journal, or other resource material, and we transfer the learning to a real-world context. So you can see there's a lot of similarity between the two here. For more information, please contact me, Joel Montgomery, and you'll see there my street address. The telephone number is our office phone number. You can send me an email at joelmonty@competencymastery.com. And for this program, we're using the website www.competencymastery.com. This is the end of Part 2 of the 3-part series on the Introduction to Competency Mastery Learning Design. Please check your video file for Part 3, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.